All right, folks, you are looking at the Magician Alpha e-bike, the 72-volt Magician Alpha. And one of the most common questions I get, of course, is, hey man, how far does that bike go? Well, today I am going to show you. We're going to do a range test on the Alpha. And I will tell you that I did keep track of my first couple rides, and I was riding it pretty much all out, a lot of throttle, pretty much no pedaling, doing high speeds, 40 plus miles an hour. And if you're gonna ride it like that, I was getting about, we'll say 35-ish miles, 30 to 40 miles of range before the battery is pretty much done. The power's dropped off and you better be on your way home. So if you're gonna ride like a maniac, 30, 40 miles maybe out of it. But today, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna ride it just like a normal e-bike where I'm just cruising. I'm just cruising the Greenway. I'm doing a lot of pedaling. I'm going to keep it in stealth mode. That's pedal assist 2. It's still got good power. I got it in torque sensor, so if I push, oh man, it takes right off. That's plenty of power. I think it's only like 40% power, but that's enough on this 72-volt bike. This thing's peaking like 4,500 watts, so you got big power in this thing, and it's real quiet though. You can't even hear the power. So silent. Makes for a peaceful ride. So that's today's plan. I'm gonna ride this. I'm just gonna cruise. I'm gonna enjoy the scenery and enjoy the ride and find out if you're just pedaling, not doing crazy 50-mile-an-hour blasts of speed all the time, and you're just out enjoying the Greenway, how far can you really go? We got a lot of battery pack here, 72 volts, and the one in the frame is 20 amp hour and the one in the rear rack is 10. So you got 30 amp hours of battery to go through. That's a lot of battery at 72 volts. 99% battery right now. I'm 2.6 miles into this range test. So I'm gonna just let you guys enjoy the scenery here with me, and we'll check back in as we start getting lower on battery and if I feel any changes in the power. I didn't say I wasn't ever going to use the power. This is the kind of roads I live on. This is why I like these bikes that go 50, because I can jump on this 45-mile-an-hour road. And I'm fine right now, there's no traffic around me, I can go 30. But if at any point in time I need to crank it up to 45 and go in the flow of traffic, I can. I see the use for these. I don't use it all the time, but it's nice having it. Now I got a car coming behind me in traffic, coming in front of me. Let me get up to speed here a little bit. I don't want people passing me at 45. There, now I got a spot where I can get out of the way. That's why you need a bike like this when you live where I do. See, that guy didn't have to go around me. This is a comfortable, quiet ride. Let me go on the grass. Don't even hear that motor. That's still my favorite thing about this Magician bike. That motor is just silent. It's so peaceful. I kind of want to switch out the street tires to get rid of the hum of the tires and just be totally silent. I'm sorry for all those people out there who don't have access to something like this. I mean, I've got hundreds of miles of this to ride. So nice, convenient. That was one of the criteria when we moved into our new house was I needed a spot to ride e-bikes. I needed access to the Greenway system or some place where I can be in the peace and quiet and do this. All right, we're down to 90% battery and I've gone 11 miles. At this pace, we're on track for a pretty long range. If I continue to do this 15, 16 mile an hour pedaling on the Greenway, I don't think we're going to get anywhere near 100 miles, but we'll see. See that? Every single person I've passed has waved to me. Even the other bikers on non-electric bikes, they wave. I've never had any issue riding an e-bike on the Greenway system. I've never met a Karen. Fingers crossed, I don't want to. Knock on wood. But as long as I'm just doing this. I'm not going 40 miles an hour on this path. And when I see people, if it's a crowd or multiple people, I generally slow way down and I pass them at 12 miles an hour or something. But you can have a bike like this, that's very powerful and capable of some pretty insane speeds for an electric bicycle, and you can go out here and you can enjoy it like this and not be a threat. Don't get me wrong, I ride these bikes fast, but if you watch my videos, I'm doing it on the road, on the backcountry roads. And that's where I'm doing the speed. I'm not doing it here. There's a time and a place, people. Now this is just effortless. It's effortless for me. I'm putting a steady pressure on the pedals, but not a lot. And it's just effortless for the bike. It has so much more power than I'm using right now. I don't have a watt meter on this display configuration to show me, but oh my gosh, we're probably using like 300 watts to do this right now. Okay, we are down to 80% battery. 80% remaining. I have used 20% of my battery apparently, and I've gone 21.7 miles. So let's just call it 22. 20% battery gave me 22 miles so far. We're pretty much just sipping battery at this low speed and pedaling. It's very efficient. You're barely using the power in this thing, so highly efficient. I'm now 22 miles from home. I'm going to turn around and head back towards home because I want to get home with plenty of battery, and we'll just burn the rest off once we're around our own neighborhood. Well, let's see on the way back. If it only burns 20% on the way back, that's going to be very surprising. I might try to do a little higher speed on the way back as long as there's not a lot of people on the trail. I was doing about, well, I can tell you. Right, here we go. Ready? So trip meter 21.8. And max speed 44 when I was going down that big hill. 17 miles per hour is what I'm averaging. And I've been riding for range, it says, is 70 miles. 70 miles of range left? I mean, when I started and the battery was fully charged, it said 128, I think is the range. So I don't know if it's 70 left in there or not, but calories burned, cadence, time 75 minutes I've been riding. So let's try to average, let's try to bump it up to like maybe 20 miles an hour average on the way back. See what happens. Gosh, riding these bikes, I just feel like Superman. I mean, I'm pedaling, I'm putting a little bit of pressure in, but I mean, I'm going 27 miles an hour with just absolute ease. You feel like a superhuman riding these. You can still get a workout. My legs are still burning from all this pedaling, but you could never do this on a regular bike. I couldn't do it. The Alpha bike is climbing my list, man. So smooth, so powerful, so quiet. It's grown on me. Well, I'm liking this bike. Just the power on tap is incredible. I mean, I haven't left stealth mode. I'm on pedal assist too, just cruising, man. I'm only using a fraction of what this is capable of. Which is probably why it's being so efficient right now. I mean, we've just put in 24 miles, it's still at 77% battery. It's very stealth. Very stealth. If you've never seen a fat tire bike before and you see this go by, you're gonna be like, oh my God, that thing's huge. But if you've seen one before, and that doesn't shock you, you wouldn't realize that this is as powerful and as fast as it is. Honestly, 25, anything over 20 just feels too fast here. I can't take in the scenery and watch stuff go by and look at the river next to me. I think 20 and under is the spot to be. I think you could probably cruise under 20 miles an hour on this bike forever. You get your fill. You get your fill of e-biking on this. There's enough battery to do this for a long time. We're at 27 miles. I'm at 75% battery. Okay, we've come to the end of the line on the Greenway. They're doing construction, so I can no longer ride the Greenway back to my house. Now comes the interesting part. Let's go up here, because in order to get home, my only option is to go out on this 55 mile an hour road that has no shoulder, no sidewalk, nothing. So if you're on a 20 mile an hour e-bike, good luck. All right, well, I guess it goes down to 45 here. Let's see what you got, Alpha. So we're already up to 40. At least I'm in the flow of traffic. And they got a big hill to climb. You know, this is one of the few bikes that can do this. And I don't have to worry about traffic overtaking me. Uphill, 40 mile an hour. I'm not even pedaling. If I pedal to help, doesn't really do much to pedal. But I just got to get up to like this light. There. I hate that the Greenway shut down and I have to be out on this road. Like, so much for conserving my battery. I was doing good there on the Greenway. We were just sipping battery. All right, let's just cut across here. There we go. I don't have to do any more of that now. But on the Greenway, I was getting pretty much every percent of battery going down was equal to 1 mile. I'm down to right now 61% and I'm about 37 miles. It was 1 for 1 there until I used all the juice right there. So we're doing good here. We're approaching 40 miles, still showing 60% battery left. And I view that kind of as 30% left. Because I know from previous rides on this bike, once you get to 30% battery, the power kind of drops off a bit. So we'll see. I'm going to take this until the power drops off. And then, yeah, I know that you got to be on your way home. That's kind of the end of the range. Well, let's see where we get to. Well, we've crossed over the 50-mile mark. I've gone 51.3 miles. I got 40% battery remaining. And I haven't really left pedal assist 2, the stealth mode. We've been pedaling a lot. My legs are starting to hurt. This is my leg day. Over 50 miles of pedaling. I'm not used to doing that. I'm used to riding mostly throttle, so my legs are, I got to work out today. And pedaling has definitely lengthened the range of this by a lot. The last time I went over 50 miles, it was using a lot of throttle, mainly throttle only. And I believe I had about 13% battery left after 50 miles. Where now, over 50 miles, I got 40% left. So you get a lot of range out of this bike if you're gonna pedal like this. I mean, I've been out here for like 2.5 hours doing this. I mean, we're at 38% battery now. It seems to still have pretty solid power. Into the wind if I just hit the throttle. I mean, 40 mile an hour into a headwind easily. So the power is still there. It hasn't faded yet. It's not usually till under 30% that it fades. Well, I think we've come to the end of our range test. I am at 22% battery remaining, and I've gone 62.3 miles. So if I compare that to my previous tests, it appears that I've added about 20 miles of range with all the pedaling that I did. Because all the other ones were done mainly throttle power. This one was done mostly pedaling. So by pedaling in pedal assist 2 stealth mode, it tacked on another 20 miles of range. I have been out here for a while. I've rode 62 miles today on this. I'm ready for a break. Let's see my stats here. So we went 225 miles total on this bike so far. Max speed was 47 down the hill. I averaged 18.8 miles per hour today. So averaging about 19 miles an hour all day. Says there's 12 miles of range left. So if that's accurate, then you're gonna end up with about 74 miles of total range. Calories, what else? Cadence, RPMs, 198 minutes I rode today, total ride time. So there you go. There's, range test data for you to consider. That was a full power takeoff there. That's how much power is left. Again, it was the same as the last test. Once you get under 30% battery, it's like there's a threshold there, and the bike just cuts the power in half. You still have power, you can still ride. See? I could go another 10 miles, I'm sure, like this. You just don't have that hard pull and the 40 mile an hour speed. Once you get below 30% on the battery, there's something programmed in there, I think, where it just cuts the power and says, all right, you're in conservation mode. You better just pedal your way home. And again, everybody's range is going to be different depending on how much you weigh and how much cargo you got, and if you're using the throttle or you're pedaling or how hilly it is. But this is just some pieces of data for you to use to determine if this is going to be enough battery capacity for you. It's plenty for me. It's probably triple what I need. I usually only ride about 20 miles in a day anyway. So that was a long ride for me today. But hopefully you found it enjoyable to watch or informative. I'll see you in the next one.